Hello, GovCon winners. Today's video is all about, please stop making these mistakes. Please stop making these mistakes if you want to win profitable government contracts. These mistakes that I'm going to get into, it requires some room spray. Typically, I do this before a video. These are so important that I need to just bring in some amazing positive energy, because these are things that they're easy to do. They're easy little potholes to fall into, and I get it. I totally understand it, but we're gonna get through it, and you're not gonna do this anymore. So let's take a look as I share my screen with you. So when you're first starting out, there's this kind of amazing story sold to you. You're gonna make a lot of money. You gotta get that government money. There's nothing but government money just flowing all over the place. So then you can live this life hanging out on the beach, spending more time with your kids, maybe retire early, maybe retire your spouse early. These are amazing things to ponder, amazing things to want to believe. Are they really true? The reality is you are building it while you are flying, like this image here. Nothing prepared me for being informed one day, Kizzy, your employee woke up handcuffed to a hospital bed. Nothing. Maybe there's a YouTube video on it. Who knows? There's a lot that you are going to encounter as an entrepreneur, because once you enter that government space, whether you are a prime or a sub, you are an entrepreneur. The first mistake that so many make that are costing you money, costing you business in the federal government is a poor business model. And you may be wondering, well, what do you mean by this? Please explain. And I am. You need to really hone in on, are you an entrepreneur or are you an expert? The goal for many is to have a business model where you are selling a product or service and you are making a profit on that, and you have continuous monthly revenue coming in, very stable revenue coming in. What ends up happening is we take that expert route. I did this too. I honed in on training, diversity and inclusion, analyzing data. I thought, hey, I want to get paid for my time, my subject matter expertise, for this whole Dr. Parks thing. And I did. I was paid for what I call as need basis, one-off opportunities, where perhaps you're needed to train 10 times in March, but only one time in August, or 0 in December. So how do you pay your bills? How do you plan appropriately? What if you have other people that you want to pay who are part of your team? How do you manage all of that? And the other thing is, this also applies, this kind of expert model, to those who are in kind of this one and done industry. So this could be packing, moving, it could be sometimes in construction. And what you have to really think about is, how many of these do you need every month to sustain your financial goals? If you're only bringing in $1,000 a month for your trucking business, then perhaps you need 20 contracts like that. And if that's what you need, then you have to think about, what are those skills that you need to develop to handle those 20? Who do you need to execute it when it comes to staff, to recruiting, to selection, to onboarding, payroll? When you go that expert route, you have that energy, you're excited, you're like, I know I can do it because I've done it before, and that's awesome. So long as you're willing to accept that business model. So on the other side, that more entrepreneurial approach is in essence staffing. In the federal government, numerous small businesses, the big businesses, because in the federal government, you're either small or you're not small, make their money, including my flagship company, K Parks Consulting, in staffing, where the federal government is seeking different contractors to augment, to support their existing government staff, where you may be sitting side by side with them and you're helping them, and your staff they're being paid. You're being paid a set amount of money per hour or per month. And typically those contracts are a base plus 4. They often last for 5 years. So you're receiving ongoing revenues every single month, often for 5 years. So if you have several of those, let's say each one is $100,000, you have $500,000 in government contracts coming in. Now you have more dependable, stable money. You have a stronger business model, a more predictable business model. You can, of course, expand. Maybe your focus is IT and you decide, hey, I want to get into emergency services or staffing firefighters. Or perhaps you're like, hey, I'm kind of interested in some of these training opportunities and these one and done things. Maybe I want to do that too. You can definitely go back and forth between the categories, but you need to really understand what you're involved in and what all of this entails in order to have a long-lasting business. It has been said, according to statistics, 20% of businesses close within the first year. 20% of businesses. So what I have here for you is horrible. It's horrible to think about it. And that's why I love being here and to be able to help you, because you're not going to be that, because you're a GovCon winner. Because if you weren't watching this video, I don't know, but you are watching this video and you're going to do it. So I have in front of you this money-making idea formula. So at the end of the day, it must be profitable, regardless of the model. It must be profitable. It has to be something that you enjoy. But the idea, gosh, that you want this amazing situation where it's reoccurring revenue every single month, so that you're not in a situation of, man, I crushed it in February. I can't believe I made $100,000. I've never made that amount of money ever in 1 month. And then come October and you're like, oh my gosh, anybody hiring? So it's important to be aware of that. The next thing is, I see so many businesses, and I was there too. You're too focused on the NAICS. When you reach out to different agencies, you speak in terms of your NAICS. When you're looking up things in SAM, you're really narrowed in on that NAICS code. When you're talking to those in industry, you're speaking in terms of your NAICS. It's just NAICS overload. I remember being at an outreach event. There are tons of different GovCon people, different entrepreneurs, business development personnel from all different types of businesses, all different industries. And I remember several of them said, you know, Kizzy, we can tell you're like a little micro company because of the information you have on your business card, that you're so focused on your NAICS codes. They said, look at the other companies, the big companies. Do you notice that? Are they focused on their NAICS codes? And I did. I was like, oh, wow. That was so honed in. I thought that's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do. And instead, it's value. That's what you should be focused on. The value that you're bringing to the table. What is that value? That's what the federal government is all about. Value over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. You are just crushing them with so much value, or the potential of the value. And what's key is when you're engaging with the federal government and you're looking at opportunities, they should be those where you're able to demonstrate with certainty a situation, a solution that you provide or provided, and the outcome. If you're able to do that, then why wouldn't an agency want to work with you? You can help them envision it. Hey, you know, I was able to work with the state of Delaware. I was able to help them with some curriculum that was outdated. I was able to refresh it for them. It was completed way before the timeline of the opportunity. And they were so excited by it. They loved it. I ended up getting 5-star reviews. And as a result, the state of Delaware provided more work, as well as referred me to other agencies within the state. There you go. What government agency wouldn't want to hear that type of a success story? It's value. Focus on the value. The other kind of bonus thing is, you might want to come closer, y'all. This is going to require another sip. Sometimes the opportunities in which you can and will add value are not listed under the NAICS in which you think they should be. I know, sometimes that doesn't happen. So when you're so focused on the NAICS, you're going to miss out. So hone in on that value each and every time. Free advice. Listen, I love free, y'all. love free. I love free. It's amazing. When I talk about free advice as this mistake that's costing you money and costing you government contracts, here is what I want you to really focus in on. Many of these agencies, SBA, PTAC, some kind of group within your local area, the people there are lovely. They're amazing. Often they're energized. It's one of their greatest jobs because they're helping small businesses. The majority of businesses in this amazing nation are small businesses. However, how many of the employees connected to any of those groups I mentioned, maybe who you spoke with, have ever had a successful government contracting business? I know in my early years, I spent a lot of time and energy obtaining free advice from these different resources. I don't think any of them ever own a government contracting business. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's changed. So you have to ask yourself, how can someone help you with areas other than how to get registered in SAM, how to get your WOSB, how to look up information? How can someone help you in these other areas? Pricing, key areas in business development, hiring, what to pay people, how to find people to partner with if they have never done it. Do you ask broke people for financial advice? I know you don't, because y'all are GovCon winners. You're better than that. You ain't doing that. And the same thing goes in this space. What you actually want to do is a combination of both. You need a mentor. You need someone like myself who has been there, done it, and still doing it. What I share with you all in my videos, these are things I actually do. These are beliefs I actually have. I know what works, what doesn't work. And if I haven't tried it, I'm gonna let you know. So you need someone who has been there, done it, who has received millions of dollars in federal government contracts and can show it and has an existing company. Or if you're in a really specialized field, reach out. Go into the dynamic small business search and look for a company in that particular field so you can find out more. Again, these other groups, SBA and such, they're amazing for getting into systems and helping you with many of the nuances, as well as if you ever explore the JV program, definitely can be of help. Very technical, but when it comes to all that's needed to keep that plane in the air. So if you ever come across a situation where not once, but twice, there are false claims submitted to the great state of Ohio for unemployment, and one of them involves somebody who never worked for you, you'll be able to figure it out because you have a mentor who's been there, done that. So I want to thank you all. Y'all are GovCon winners. Y'all are amazing. And you already know everything is possible. Don't give up. Keep at it. You're going to win contracts. And please subscribe, like, turn on that notification bell, comment, share. Until next time.